Hi, I'm Brian Smith. I'm a Sony Artisan of Imagery, and today we're at the Sony Style flagship store in New York City. I started in photography when I was in high school. I started shooting pictures originally for the school newspaper and yearbook, and then very quickly started working for the local newspaper, shooting sports for them. And originally what was sort of something that I thought was going to be a passing interest became a lifelong interest, because I find it's really interesting because over the 30 years that I've been involved in photography, it's something different every single day. Well, for the last year I've been photographing a project called Art and Soul. We photographed now over 250 celebrities in the entertainment industry, and the stories deal with like how the arts has affected their lives. So I'll do a portrait of the people, and then they'll sit down and write their handwritten thoughts in a notebook that we've got about what the arts means to them. So it's going to be presented as a book called Art and Soul, and it will have a pairing of the portrait along with their handwritten thoughts of how the arts has affected them. And a lot of the stories are very touching and compelling, and not necessarily what you would expect from a lot of the celebrities. It's like you start to find out how important their lives have been affected by their commitment to the arts. We photographed everybody from Anne Hathaway, Adrian Grenier, Sam Jackson, Adrian Brody, Tim Daly, Dana Delaney. It's just a host of wonderful people who've come together for this project. We're doing it in conjunction with the Creative Coalition, so a portion of the proceeds are going to go to the Creative Coalition to continue to lobby for arts and arts education. As a visual artist, I think that my life has been very positively affected by the arts, and I think it's that impact that everyone involved with. It's kind of a rare opportunity for us to let our voices be heard about what the arts means to us. I've shot everything from Olympics, Super Bowls, political unrest in Haiti, but for the last probably 15 or 20 years now, my main focus has been on celebrity portraiture. So we shoot people that are in the news for whatever reason, doing behind-the-scenes portraits of them in ways that maybe you've never seen them before. One of the most interesting shoots that we've done was a photo shoot on Christmas Eve morning of Richard Branson down on his private island in the British Virgin Islands. We were photographing Richard Branson on Necker Island for a Time magazine story on Virgin Galactic, and he'd already agreed to be photographed in a spacesuit. So we flew the spacesuit down to the British Virgin Islands, and we're out on a boat with Richard at 5 o'clock in the morning to be able to shoot him at the first light of day. So that's an example where it's both the subject, the props, the styling, but also the background all comes into play to make a more interesting photograph. I won the Pulitzer for the 1984 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles. I was part of a 3-photographer team from the Orange County Register, and it was really a dream assignment to be able to cover something like the Olympics. And one of the great things that I learned out of that was our emphasis was really on picking angles that nobody else would be at. It's like, you know, sort of the vantage point that there are not going to be 20 photographers shooting this. So we tried to give people a unique and different look of the games than everybody else was doing. These days I'm shooting everything with the Sony Alpha 900. So this is actually my workhorse camera, the 24.5 megapixels Sony Alpha 900, and my absolute favorite lens, Sony's Zeiss 24-70 2.8. It's like I can probably shoot 80% of the work that I do with this body and lens. It's sort of the perfect combination for the portraiture that I do. The most important thing for a professional photographer is 3 things. You've got to have a great sensor, great lens, and a camera that's foolproof. And Sony gives me all of those things.
For more information about In the Zone with Lisa Marie Latino, log on to www.itzonline.tv.